Woo. We're back, baby. We're back for the Stump The Schwammy. Call him in an hour. Woo. Alright, so we are back for, because I just keep track, I believe the 13th episode of the Stump The Schwammy podcast. We've got the Schwammy himself. We got Jerry, who is FaceTiming in currently, so we'll see how the quality goes for this. Honestly, if it's not terrible, might lead to more in the future. Who knows? I have a suspicion it's going to be lightly terrible, but I'm hoping it's fine. Jerry, say hello.
Hello. And other things.
Oh boy, I gotta be honest. We were talking for I have a timer up here for 7 minutes before we started this, and you didn't cut out once until the second you said hello.
Well,
so fingers crossed. You're pretty good now on my end, but we'll see how it goes. So
I'll hold my phone where there's signal.
There you go. So the purpose of this pod is we're gonna do some Becky Fantasy League recap. We'll lightly talk about our other leagues too and some NFL stuff, but that's going to be the focus of it. And we're actually going to bring some guests from the league on as well. Not really sure how long it's going to last. Hopefully we can reach out and connect with these guys and at least get them in here quick. We're looking at getting... should I even spoil it or should I just let it happen?
I think you let it happen. Get them on the line.
And I forgot I actually reached out to one more person, and I didn't even tell you. So I don't have any trivia planned for this person versus you specifically because it was last second, but there's a fourth one.
Oh, hell yeah.
So some quick NFL news before we get into the Becky stuff. Big head coach firing today with Ron Rivera being let go by the Panthers. What do you think about that, Jerry?
I mean, it sucks for the Panthers. They've had a rough go this year, especially in the last couple weeks. But he's definitely, in my opinion, going to get hired as soon as the season's over. So.
I think so too. It's a tough break for him, but we all kind of saw it coming. What do you think about that Dolphins trick play this past weekend?
I can't believe how much better it worked than the Colts play, for one.
I know. It looked like they at least had a plan where the Colts didn't.
Yeah, and literally, you would think if you were the, I don't even remember who they were playing. Who are they playing? I'm blanking.
Oh, man, I'm blanking too. I'm going to pull it up real quick.
I think it was the Eagles.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, because they came back and beat them.
You think if you were the Eagles, you literally just, try to kill the kicker as fast as possible.
I'm surprised Hawk or whatever his name is actually was able to roll out at all.
Yeah.
And not die. Last little NFL thing, I guess, before we get into some Becky stuff. I looked up the most recent power rankings, and it's got the top 5 as the Ravens, Seahawks, Niners, Saints, and Patriots. What do you think about that? The Seahawks seemed high to me. They're good, but...
I think they just give them that because their win last night, and then it put them... I think that now they're the number 1 seed in the NFC. I might be wrong.
Yeah.
I think so.
Because I guess the Niners did lose. We got Packers, Texans, Chiefs, Vikings, Bills as the next couple out.
I think really you give the Texans a nod over the Patriots just because the last week.
That's what I would think. The Chiefs will be back.
What'd you say?
The Chiefs will be there, I think.
Yeah.
Got to get Mahomes sometime. Okay, so anything else before we get into some Becky action?
Just side note, sort of our league spokesman to a very small degree got stabbed last weekend.
Oh, that made me super sad. I literally was in real life upset about TP.
Yeah, I mean, I'm glad he went from critical to stable condition, but he is an unofficial spokesman of our league.
Yeah, so for those who don't know and listen, which is probably very few, but we got, I don't even remember the name of the app, but we got Terrell Pryor to do our draft order, so that's why he's our spokesperson. And he kind of flubbed it up a little bit, but it's all right.
That's all right.
It
He
led
to some controversy.
I would say it led to some of these matchups we have. So,
I agree.
do you want to get in? Do you want to do your very brief consolation bracket recap first?
Oh, gladly.
All right, let's hear it.
All right, consolation for the Becky. So these are the people basically competing to not be in last place.
Right.
We got some familiar faces from the last couple years here at the bottom. Actually, I'm on the wrong thing. 1 second. We have Troy again down here in the bottom.
Yeah.
We have Dylan again here at the bottom.
Oof.
Joey again here at the bottom. Myself, Steen, and Coleman. Steen and Coleman have the buys, so they're safe from getting last place, which is all that really matters.
Right.
I'm taking on Dylan, and Joey is taking on Troy. Troy actually didn't even set his lineup 2 weeks ago. I don't even know if he set it this week.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go ahead and take Joey in a win there.
There was about a billion upset league mates about that one.
Yeah, I mean, you got to set your lineup. That's all I'm saying. You don't even have to be in trying. Just set your lineup.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, that puts Troy in the last place game. And I honestly think I'll probably beat Dylan. But I don't know. My team's kind of crappy. So we're going to say Dylan beat Troy for last place. And I'm going to say that Troy will tune in for the last week. And Dylan will take the L and get last place.
I can see that.
My recap.
Right. Yeah. I mean, I could see that. It kind of comes down to, like you said, who's setting lineups and stuff like that, which kind of sucks when it comes down to it, but I get it at that point too.
I have full faith that Dylan actually looks almost every week and sets his lineup. I would just say that his downfall literally comes on day one every year where he doesn't actually draft his team.
Yeah, and I remember at the draft him calling in and everything, and we got through some rounds and everything, but it wasn't perfect.
I support him participating, but that's what that leads to.
Yeah. All right, so in the playoff bracket then, we have our number 1 seed is Corbin, and his team's What Are You Doing, Step Bro? He's 11-2, which I went back and looked through, and that ties the best record that we've ever had with Steen twice and Kirkbride once.
Very impressive.
Yeah, I know. And 2 out of those 3 times, those teams went on to win the whole thing. And the one time was, I'll just throw it in because it's the year I won over Steen. And I had more points than Steen that year, but he had the better record. So it looks good in Corbin's favor. Our second seed is Zad, and I don't know that I can read his team name, who also has a bye. I got to say he set a league record for the points this year with 1,891.46. That's a little skewed by the fact we added a position this year, and we've only been doing PPR for the last few, but I got to give him props there. He's really being led by McCaffrey this year, who I did the calculations. In the game that he's played, he's averaging 29.5 a game.
That's stupid.
I know. The next closest running back's Dalvin Cook, and he's literally 7 full points less a game.
Wow.
I know. It's nuts. In the actual first round, like wild card, quote-unquote, matchups, we have in the 3v6, we have Aaron Taze Lobos versus Brad mixing up the medicine. They're led by strong running backs with Zeke and Dalvin, who I just mentioned. And then in the 4 and 5 matchup, we have Isaac, Clinton Body Count, and I'm the 5th seed with Hot Tub Taint Machine. Shout out to Joey's bachelor party. We're coming at this matchup on 2 ends of the spectrum because Isaac started 5-0.
Yes, he was hot.
Yeah, and then kind of backed his way in, and he's like 8-5 now. And he had Saquon. He's the one. He got the number 1 pick off that whole TP thing. And I started 1-4 and ended 6-7. So I kind of moved up. I had the second most points against. I had to look that up to give myself some credit. So my thought process is, Jerry, I'm going to hit you with a couple rapid fire questions just to show you what we're going to hit the guests with, and then we'll call our first guest.
Can't wait.
Does that sound good to you?
Sounds great.
I'm going to turn on some low background music, and we'll see if it doesn't drown you out. Let's see if we can get that playing. Oh, can you hear it?
I can very lightly hear it.
Alright. We'll keep it like that volume. We don't want it to drown you out. Alright, you ready?
Always ready.
Rapid fire. Number 1, what's your current favorite piece of clothing that you own?
Sweatpants.
Alright. Number 2, favorite movie you've seen in the past year?
Ooh. The Joker.
Who should be the NFL MVP this season?
I think McCaffrey.
What is your spirit animal?
Ooh, an owl.
Nice. Best Thanksgiving side dish?
Ooh. Stuffing.
That's a good one. If you had to jump teams from your favorite team, who would you jump to?
Ooh. I thought about this because the Browns make me very mad, so probably the Jaguars at the moment.
I like that one. Favorite cereal?
Ooh, Fruity Pebbles.
If you could have one superpower, what would you pick?
Fly, obviously.
One bold prediction for the rest of the fantasy season?
Neither. Ooh, I don't know. McCaffrey will go real cold.
Ooh, okay. One bold prediction for the rest of the NFL season. Kind of the same if you want to double it up. But.
Ravens will not make the AFC Championship game.
Ooh, okay, that's it. Those are the questions. So, all right, we're going to call our first guest. And I'm going to hit him with that first, and then ask him to talk about his team a little bit, and then I have a game for you versus him. So let's give him a call.
All right.
Let's hope that he answers, and if not, I guess we'll move down the list. So hopefully he's expecting us. So this is where you get like the speakerphone, like FaceTime mic action.
Hello.
What's up, Corbin?
Hello, Nathaniel.
Welcome to the Stump The Schwammy podcast. We're live.
It's good to be part of it. Thank you.
Yeah. So we just got done giving some rapid fire kind of random questions to Jerry. I think I'm going to hit you with some of the same things. You ready?
Okay, shoot.
Not all NFL related, but some.
Okay.
Favorite piece of clothing that you own? Go.
My brown sweatshirt.
There you go. Favorite movie you've seen in the past year?
Past year. The Irishman.
Nice. Who should be the NFL MVP this season?
Lamar Jackson.
I agree. What's your spirit animal?
A lion.
Nice.
Ooh, nice.
Best Thanksgiving side dish?
Probably just noodles. Yeah, noodles.
Yeah. If you had to jump favorite teams, who would you jump to?
The Ravens.
That's harsh, but I get it. Favorite cereal?
What's that?
Favorite cereal?
Lucky Charms.
If you could have one superpower, what would you pick?
Flying.
One bold prediction for the rest of the fantasy season?
Your team wins it.
Thank you. One bold prediction for the rest of the NFL season?
The Bills win a playoff game.
Hey, there we go. All right, those are the 10. So I just hit Jerry with that, and this kind of random stuff. So
No, I liked it. It was interesting.
You're a fan? All right. I don't know if you could hear it. We had a little game show music going in the background, too.
Yeah, I could kind of hear it. I
Lightly.
thought that's what was going on. Yeah.
So we very lightly touched on who made the playoffs and, like, who's playing who. What do you think about your team this year?
It's kind of funny. I don't actually think it's that good.
You don't think so?
No, I don't. I can't really explain it. I always feel like my teams are a lot better than what they normally are, but I feel like this one's a lot worse than what it is.
It just kind of ended up that way?
Yeah, and like I feel like I got a lot luckier this year than I normally ever do. So I feel like all my years of bad luck have finally went into this one team and somehow won 11 games.
That's what it takes. I don't know if you knew this or not. We just talked about this. your 11-2 record ties the best record that we've ever had in the Becky with Steen twice and Kirkbride the year that he won.
Oh, what an honor to be mentioned with those two.
I know. So
yeah.
I'll say 2 out of those 3 years they went on to win the whole thing. So
wow,
you got to be feeling good. Although I will say the one year Steen didn't win, I dethroned him. So your prediction might come true.
No. Yeah, it was my goal to kind of keep your team out of the playoffs. So I didn't do a very good job of that last week. So I was kind of disappointed.
I appreciate what you did for me.
I mainly blame Baker Mayfield, and I blame him for a lot of the struggles in my life this year. So.
I feel a very similar sentiment with Derek Carr, so I'm kind of on the same page with you.
Jeez.
I know. So, to keep it quick, one more kind of trivia thing real quick. So we have I don't know if you've ever been turned on to this podcast called Around the NFL podcast. I know Brad listened to it, and I think Aaron did for a short time. I don't know if it's anything you ever listened to or not.
Okay, yeah, I'm not familiar. Okay. Sorry.
You're good. So they used to play a trivia game on there where they would do trivia to win this one guy's toaster. So I don't have a cool prize like that, but we're going to follow the same format. So we'll decide in a second who goes first between you and Jerry. And I got this 3 totally manufactured by me, I guess, trivia questions. We'll give you like 1 minute to answer, and we'll see who gets more right. With only 3 questions, it's a fair chance you tie, but we'll see what happens.
So is this kind of wait to answer at the end, or do I answer immediately, or how's this work?
Answer immediately. So
okay.
We'll have, since you're the guest, we'll have you go first, and I'm gonna mute Jerry for a second. Jerry, you ready to be muted?
I am ready to be muted.
All right, we'll bring you back in a minute. All right, so it's just me and you now. It's pretty intimate.
All right, good.
So we're gonna turn the music back on. I'm gonna give you like 1 minute to answer these 3 questions, and then before I tell you if we're right or wrong or not, I'll ask Jerry the same ones, and you can kind of listen in, and we'll see who gets them.
Okay, gotcha.
All right, you ready?
Yep.
All right, we got the music playing again. Let's turn the volume up on that just a little bit. There we go.
I can hear it this time. Yeah.
Yeah, that's how you know it's a big deal.
Yeah, I get it. I got goosebumps.
All right, you ready?
Yep.
All right, first one. Who did the Browns select first in the 2005 draft? And you can skip if you'd like.
So is this first they were all in? That'd be
in their first round.
In their first round. Ooh, 2005. I'm gonna say Kellen Winslow, even though I don't think that's right. But yeah.
Okay, we'll go to the next one. In what year did the NFL begin?
1955.
Alrighty. And then, who led the league in receptions in 2018?
Antonio Brown.
Alright, so those are your 3. You want to change any last second before I bring Jerry back?
I can't think of the Browns one. I know that's wrong, but that's as good as I've got.
Yeah, I hit you with a Browns one. I figured that it might give you a shot. We'll see. They're not easy questions.
2005. That wouldn't have been Tim Couch. So yeah, I don't know. Brady Quinn. No, I don't know. Yeah, we'll see what happens.
All right, I'm bringing Jerry back. All right, Jerry, you're back.
Oh, hello.
You ready? It's your turn for the 3. We got his final answers. I haven't told him if he's right or wrong on any yet. But he's going to listen in when you answer.
Okay.
You ready?
I'm ready.
Here we go. All right. Who did the Browns select in the first round of the 2005 draft?
Oh, God.
Similar reaction.
That was a while ago. Was it the first? Can I ask a question?
No promises I answer.
I'm just going to go with Joe Thomas.
Okay. In what year did the NFL begin?
Oh, my God. 65.
Okay. And who led the league in receptions in 2018?
Michael Thomas.
Alrighty. All final answers before we stop?
They're as final as they're going to be.
All right. So, Corb, we got you.
I just remembered who it was that the Browns
All right. Well, unfortunately, we won't change it, but I'll let you unveil the answer if you'd like.
It was Braylon Edwards.
It was. So the Brown selection was Braylon Edwards. The NFL began in 1920, so this is the 100th anniversary. I don't know if you guys had seen those like commercials and stuff. And Jerry's going to take the win here because it was Michael Thomas who led the league last year.
As soon as he said it, I knew it was right.
Yeah. He had 125. He's actually on pace for 151 this year to break Marvin Harrison's record.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
You put up a good fight. I gave you hard ones. He only got one, too. But
Yeah,
he's.
what were Corbin's answers? I didn't get the.
Oh, yeah. So you had, what, Kellen Winslow?
Mm-hmm.
1955, I think. And,
Yeah.
and Antonio Brown.
Shouldn't I get like the Price is Right thing for?
Like closest on the one.
Yeah, but I guess we both won there. So it doesn't count.
I'll give you like a half for that, but Jerry still takes it.
Alright,
That could have been the tiebreaker, but. All right. Anything last second, Corb?
Yeah, I fully expect to win the whole fantasy league and use your guys' money for, booze and FanDuel winnings, hopefully. So,
I respect it. See, we turned you around once I told you that stat.
Yeah, exactly. Now I feel better.
All right. Hey, good talking to you. Good luck, except when we play. All right.
Exactly.
See ya.
All right, take it easy, fellas.
See ya. All right, one guest down. What do you think about that, Jerry? Too hard of questions?
I wasn't totally prepared, I guess.
All right. You ready for the next guest?
Hold on, just for fun, I want to look up when Joe Thomas did get drafted.
Okay. I'll let you do that while I get the next one kind of ready here.
Oh, 07. I wouldn't even.
Yeah. All right. You ready for the next guest?
Yes, sir. Is this one I know or one I don't know?
You do know this one.
Okay.
We'll see if they answer. It's always kind of up in the air, I gave him mostly heads up, but we can always move on.
Hello.
Oh, what's up, Aaron? Welcome to the Stump The Schwammy podcast. We're live.
Oh, thanks for having me.
Yeah, you seem really happy to be on here.
It's my first time being on here, so I'm appreciative.
First time guest, 0-time listener. It's all right. You're our second guest today behind your brother, so it's really fitting. So
The number one seed needs to go down at some point during the playoffs here. So
he wasn't really confident at the beginning, but then I turned him around a little bit, so he might be a little cocky now. We'll see. So
he's been cocky to me the whole time, so
I feel bad for you. So, before I let you talk about your team and everything like that, and I'll try to make this whole thing quick, I hit both Jerry when we first started and Corbin with some just random rapid-fire questions. You ready for them?
yeah.
Okay. They're not all football-based, okay?
Alright.
We'll get some game show music going on in the background. There we go. All right, ready?
Yep.
Current favorite piece of clothing that you own?
Piece of clothing?
Yep.
My campfire shorts I'm wearing.
Nice. Favorite movie you've seen in the past year?
Norbit.
Okay. I like that. Who should be the NFL MVP?
Jackson.
I'm with you. Corb said the same thing. What is your spirit animal?
Sloth.
Best Thanksgiving side dish?
Mac and cheese.
Okay. If you had to jump favorite teams, who would you jump to?
The Chiefs.
Yeah. Okay. Favorite cereal?
Captain Crunch.
If you had one superpower, what would it be?
To fly.
There you go. One bold prediction for the rest of the fantasy season?
Brad's gonna lose in the first round.
Ooh, okay. One bold prediction for the rest of the NFL season?
The Ravens are going to be Super Bowl champs.
Ooh, okay. So that's it for the random ones. You and Jerry have very conflicting answers. I believe, Jerry, what did you say yours was?
I said they wouldn't make the AFC Championship game.
Oh, okay. So someone's gonna lose that one, I think. All right. So Tay, I'll just ask you: is there anything that really stuck out to you this season? I guess fantasy or NFL related.
It seems year in and year out, everyone or somebody wants to help Brad's fantasy team. He always seems to draft poorly, and then, I don't know, 8 weeks through the year, somebody helps him, and then Coleman did it this year with Dalvin Cook, so we'll see how it works out for Brad. He snuck into the playoffs, so we'll see how that works for him.
Zad and I actually calculated how he got in because it's head to head and he beat Steen. So we were sitting there trying to figure this out earlier, and because I was thinking about this too, how he just snuck in, and we figured out that since I have the same record, we all kind of beat each other. So it had to go to a second tiebreaker, and Steen's the odd man out when it comes to points for. So I feel bad there, but I totally see what you're saying.
What, did Steen win last year?
He did.
Is that right?
He did, so he's current reigning champ.
He deserves to miss the playoffs then.
That's fair. Give someone else a chance, He's always up there.
I always wondered what that second tiebreaker was, though, because it seemed like no one could ever figure it out.
I'm basing it off this year. It seems like it's points for. Because he has
a little more cut and dry this year than it has been in the past.
Yeah. So you think you're going to take Brad down this week?
It looks pretty good for me, I think, as long as Dalvin Cook doesn't score 40 points. I think is about one of the only ways Brad can beat me.
You have you have his fate in your hands.
I know. I feel the weight of the league on me as everyone wants to see Brad with an early exit in the playoffs.
Well, I guess to keep it short, I have one more thing that Corb and Jerry did, if you're up for it. They did a 3-question trivia against each other just to see who would come out on top. Just random kind of NFL trivia that I put together. You into it?
Yep, that works.
All right, so what we're going to do is, since you're the guest, I'll let you go first. I'm going to mute Jerry. Jerry, don't worry, I'm giving you different questions than against Corbin.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I won't give you the easy one. I'm going to mute Jerry so he can't hear him. Give you about 1 minute to answer these 3 questions, but I won't tell you if you're right or wrong. I'll let Jerry have a turn, and then we'll reveal at the end.
All right.
Sound like a plan? All right, Jerry, you ready to go bye-bye?
I'm ready to go bye-bye.
All right, we'll bring you back in a minute.
Okay.
All right, so let's get this game show music back going. There we go.
I like it.
All right, you ready? Get 1 minute.
All
right. They're not super easy. Last time it was 1-0, so. All right, you ready?
Well, bar's low.
All right, number 1. Name 2 of the 5 Ohio NFL teams from the original 1920 season.
Oh, Jesus.
And you can skip and come back if you'd like.
Do I need to know, the cities or what?
If you give me half, I might take it as, half credit. We'll see.
Well, I assume there was a Canton team.
Okay.
And... I don't know. Cincinnati.
All right. Next question, then. We can come back to it if you got time. Which team drafted and also cut Bill Parcells in 1964? Because the season doesn't start till Thanksgiving.
These questions aren't dated too much. I like that. I don't know. The Bills.
Okay. And since 2000, so this millennium, only one kicker has been drafted in the first round. Who was it?
First round.
Yeah. First round kicker. What team could have been that stupid?
Was Janikowski.
Is that your answer?
Yeah.
All right, you got 5 seconds if you want to go back to the Ohio teams.
Good, I'm going to knows? I don't know.
All right, we'll bring Jerry back then. You can hear his answers, then we'll tell you at the end. You ready?
Yep, sounds good.
All right, you're back, Jerry.
Oh, how's it going?
Without giving anything away, Tay, would you say those were easy or hard questions?
Pretty difficult.
Pretty difficult, okay.
Oh, God.
Well, Jerry will restart the music, and you ready?
I'm ready.
All right, number one. Name 2 of the 5 Ohio NFL teams from the original 1920 season.
Oh, do I have to give, like, full name or just, like, mascot?
If you don't give me everything, I might give you, like, partial.
Well, one is called, like, the Triangles.
Okay.
That might be Dayton. I don't know. And then one, I believe, was called, like, the Maroons.
Okay.
And I don't know where that one was from. But that's all I got, I think.
Okay, next we'll come back to it if we have time. Which team drafted and cut Bill Parcells in 1964? You know, because the season doesn't start till Thanksgiving.
Drafted and cut. We'll go with the Jets.
Okay, and this millennium, so since 2000, only one kicker has been drafted in the first round. Who was it?
Janikowski.
All right, you got a few seconds if you want to go back and give me a final answer for the Ohio one. You got about 20 seconds, probably.
Was it? I only needed 2, right?
You need 2 of the 5. Or recap what you've told me so far.
The Dayton Triangles, I think.
Okay.
And the Maroons, which I think it might be Portsmouth, but I don't know.
Okay.
And one's definitely for Portsmouth, but I don't know what their name was.
All right, you got like 10 more seconds if you want anything else.
I'm good. Leave me.
All right. Let's reveal some answers now. And then we'll see who won. So out of the NFL teams from 1920, the teams were the Akron Pros, the Canton Bulldogs, the Cleveland Tigers, the Columbus Panhandles, and the Dayton Triangles. So I would say from that, and to give away Aaron's answer, I would award Jerry, I'd award you like half a point because you got 1 of 2. And I would say, Tay, you would probably get like a quarter of a point from that because you said Canton. So Jerry takes an early lead.
What were his teams?
Did you have another one besides Canton?
Me?
Cincinnati, I think.
Yeah, that was wrong.
Just Canton and just Cincinnati.
So you brought up the Maroons though, Jerry. That's Pottsville is who that was. I don't know why I know that off the top of my head, but I think that's Pennsylvania.
Ah, damn it.
Don't know that for sure. Which team drafted and cut Bill Parcells? It was the Detroit Lions. So neither of you guys had that. Tay, I don't remember. Tay,
I said the Bills.
The Bills.
The Bills, Bill Parcells.
That's fair. Word association.
Seemed like a good guess.
And then you guys actually both got the kicker one. It was Sebastian Janikowski. So, unfortunately for our guest, I would say Jerry takes a 1.5 to like 1.25 victory in that one. So, Tay.
I lost on a technicality.
Yeah, I know. Tay, hopefully you come back in the future for a rematch then.
Yeah, maybe after I win the playoffs here, I can come back.
You'll have all the free time in the off season. All right, Tay, any last second stuff before we let you go?
I hope I can just not let the league down and beat Brad in the first round. If not, someone needs to take him down.
I wish you good luck.
Thank you.
All right. I'll see you, Tay.
All right, see you guys.
See you.
Goodbye, Taylor.
All right, so before we move on, we're actually only going to have the one more that, Jerry, you do know. Our surprise guest said he was busy for the next like half hour or so I don't want to extend this any longer than we need to. I was going to have Isaac come on because I invited everybody in the playoff matchup on. Zad didn't want to jinx himself. So that means if you followed along earlier, our last guest is going to be Brad, who coincidentally just sent me a question mark text. He's getting antsy. He's getting a little Nancy. Are you ready to bring him on?
I'm always ready first and Brad.
All right, let's call Brad. We're doing good on time.
I don't even know how much.
like a little over a half hour.
That's not bad.
Hello.
What's up, Brad? Welcome to the Stump The Schwammy podcast. We're live.
What's up, fellas?
Well, I'll say, Brad, you're our third of 3 guests today.
Great.
And we just got off the phone with Aaron.
Okay.
And he's really looking forward to the chance to bring you down and like kind of service the rest of the league in your first matchup. What do you have to?
Not even that impressive. I might have the worst fantasy football team of all time especially to be in the playoffs.
He was just very hopeful that Dalvin doesn't go off next week, so we'll see.
Did you guys like when the only 2 players out there were Dalvin Cook and Stephon Diggs? And I needed them to score like 14 more points, and they both just got injured on the same play.
I was very okay with it personally, but I would assume that everyone else was kind of a little off that. I don't know. So I'll say
it was not a good time in the house of Brad.
So I'll say, Brad, I hit everybody else that's phoned in, including Jerry when we first started here, with 10 just random questions that I'm going to hit you with. They're not really all football based, but are you game?
Yes.
All right, we're going to hit some...
is this a contest, or is it just,
Just random.
Okay.
We'll get to the contest later, don't worry. You ready? We got some game show music here.
Here's that quality.
There we go. Oh, I know. All right, ready? Rapid fire. What's your current favorite piece of clothing that you own?
Cincinnati Bengals sweatshirt. No, Joe Mixon signed autograph jersey.
I was going to say if you didn't say that one. Favorite?
I had to think about it.
Favorite movie you've seen in the past year?
Hot Rod.
Who should be the NFL MVP?
Lamar Jackson.
I think all except Jerry went with Lamar, going with
Who the fuck did Jerry say?
McCaffrey.
I kind of hate Jerry so much. He's so stupid about
McCaffrey plays on a bad team. Lamar's on a good team. That's my other.
All right, back to the rapid fire. What's your spirit animal?
A tiger. I don't know.
Best Thanksgiving side dish?
Stuffing. Easy.
All right. If you had to jump teams, favorite teams, who would you jump to?
The Panthers.
There, CMC. There you go. It's your boy. Favorite cereal?
Frosted Flakes. No, Frosted Shredded Mini Wheat. One of those 2. Frosted Mini Wheat. Yeah.
If you could have one superpower, what would you pick?
Yeah, I'm going invisible all the time.
One bold prediction for the rest of the fantasy season.
I'm gonna win.
All right. One bold prediction for the rest of the NFL season.
The Bengals are gonna get the number 1 overall pick.
Nice. Are you hoping for Burrow, I assume?
Yes.
All right, that's what I figured.
This is the way.
It's got to be this way.
This is the way.
So, Brad, I'll just ask you, what's your thoughts on the fantasy season? Anything really stick out to you? I mean,
I don't know. This has just been like the most unfun fantasy season of all time. Maybe it's because my team sucks, but like I haven't had really any fun with fantasy football so far.
I gotta say,
there have been so many injuries.
Yeah, that's true.
So many players that are good that just don't do anything.
Yeah,
it's been frustrating.
It's been weird. I'll say, going back to your draft strategy, a lot of your players you had to wait on.
Yeah.
So that probably made it a little bit more like boring than normal, if that makes sense.
That's probably a fair point.
So,
it was really fun holding AJ Green for 12 weeks just for him to fucking never play. One of my favorite Bengals ever. I've never owned him in fantasy except for twice. And last year he tore his ACL or whatever immediately. And this year he didn't play all year.
Well, man, you got to leave him alone.
I guess so.
Yeah. All right, Brad. Well, to keep it kind of short, like I said, you asked if there was a contest. So we're going to go to a contest now.
I'm so excited.
You remember, like, the old Win Wes's toaster?
Yes.
I got a mini version for us. It's just 3 questions, and I'll give Jerry new questions because he's already played against Corbin and Aaron, and I'll say he's come out victorious both times.
Are you not calling Zad or Isaac? I feel like you need to get them on the horn too.
I offered, and Zad didn't want to jinx himself, and Isaac was actually going to, but he just told me like right before I called you that he had something come up, so he couldn't call in. But.
He's a busy guy, so that makes sense.
So I have 3 questions for you. Unfortunately, no toaster to give you if you win. Okay. But they're totally random. Corbin and Aaron, and Jerry, you can tell me if you agree, said that they were kind of difficult.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, so far. I'm going to let you go first, Brad, since you're the guest, and I'm going to mute Jerry while you go for like 1 minute. And then,
so we're going against each other, okay. Yeah. Do I have to like write stuff down? I only got a piece of paper.
No, you'll be all right. And I won't tell you if you're right or wrong until after Jerry goes, and then we'll figure out who wins.
So I'm going first and then Jerry, or are we going simultaneously?
You're going to go first. I'm going to mute him so he can't hear him, and then I'll bring him back.
Okay.
All right. Jerry, you ready to get muted?
I'm ready to go for the 3P.
One last time. Oh, he's going for the 3P.
Jerry's won every time? He's definitely not beating me.
He beat Corbin and Aaron.
I will say that Brad is my most feared opponent so far.
Okay.
I couldn't really hear him.
He said you're his most feared opponent so far.
Okay.
Although,
good.
Looking at the questions, I kind of pulled these offline and they're random, but one's definitely in Brad's favor, I'd say. So we'll see. All right, Jerry, I'm going to mute you now. See you in a minute.
Right. Bye-bye.
Brad, you ready?
Yes.
We'll get this music back on.
Minute per question or a minute total?
Like a minute total.
Okay, oh God.
All right, ready?
Yes.
All right, and you can skip if you'd like. All right.
Okay. Do I get to come back to it?
If there's time left, I'll pause. I'll reset the timer now. All right.
So it's like Family Feud. All right. Cool.
Pretty much. All right, here we go. The 1966 season saw the first team to score 70 points in a game. Which team embarrassed the New York Giants 72-41?
Is it the Bears?
You want that to be your final answer, where we can come back to it?
Yeah, let's go. Let's come back to it, but that's my answer.
Okay, for now it's... All right, here's the one that leans Brad. In 2003, who started at QB for the Cincinnati Bengals?
John Kenna.
Name the 3 NFL...
Wait, did we draft Palmer in 2002 or 2003? It was Kenna. It was Kenna, I think.
Okay. Name the 3 NFL Defensive Player of the Years since 2015.
J.J. Watt, Aaron Donald, Khalil Mack.
Okay, so you got a good 30 seconds left or so. Do you want to go back to anything?
No, dude, I don't even know all the teams from 1960 fucking whatever.
I'll tell you.
I'll go with the Bears.
I'll tell you while we have time left before I bring Jerry back. In the other games, we both referenced the 1920 season, so you got the good end of the deal.
Oh, okay.
All right, so let's bring Jerry back now.
Okay.
All right, Jerry, you're back.
Whoa.
Without giving anything away, Brad, how do you feel on that?
Awful. I feel like you tricked me.
Okay. You feel deceived? You seemed confident at the time, I'll tell you that. All right. So, Brad, since you already answered, you can listen in for Jerry's. Jerry, you ready?
I'll try not to react.
Okay. All right. Music going? There we go. All right. The 1966 season saw the first NFL team score 70 points in a regular season game. Which team embarrassed the New York Giants 72-41?
The Chiefs.
Okay. In 2003, who started at QB for the Cincinnati Bengals?
In 03?
In 03.
We'll go Kitna.
Okay. Name the 3 NFL Defensive Player of the Year since 2015.
Oh, God. Since 2015.
Mm-hmm.
Aaron Donald.
Okay.
Marcus Lawrence.
Okay.
And, man, I don't know.
You got about 30 seconds still.
Kuechly.
Okay, so since you have about 30 seconds, do you want to go back through anything?
No, I'm good, I think.
All right, so...
I'm not real confident in any of it, but...
Okay. All right, so let's go through. And Brad, I'll probably ask you to tell Jerry your answers to as we go through. So in the 66 season, Jerry, who'd you say?
The The Chiefs.
Chiefs, and then Brad, did you say the Bears?
I did say the Bears.
Okay. It was actually the Washington Redskins. So 0 points there. So far, we're tied.
May have never said the Redskins.
Yeah, I think you could have gave me 30 guesses, and it would have came down to the last two. In 2003, who started at QB for the Cincinnati Bengals, you actually both got that. It was John Kitna.
Heck yeah.
Good job, Jerry.
Brad, you thought I tricked you a little bit with Palmer there.
I couldn't remember the exact year we drafted him, but I knew he sat for a year. So.
Yeah, I specifically went like 1 year earlier. And then the difference maker. Name the 3 NFL Defensive Player of the Year since 2015. Jerry, you said Donald, Lawrence, and Kuechly. And Brad said Donald, Mack, and Watt.
Oh, Mack.
It actually was Donald, Mack, and Watt. So
I'm a genius.
Brad's taking home the dub on the last one. Although I will say that one of them swung Brad with the Bengals, but you guys both got that one. So unfortunately, Jerry, your record ends today at 2-1. Congrats, Brad. Sorry, I don't have a toaster to send you.
You can send me something. It's all right.
All right, we'll see. All right. Any last second stuff? Any last second thoughts, Brad, before we?
I just want to know why you are the 5 seed and I am the 6 seed. I beat you in the head-to-head regular season by 0.2 points, and I have more as many points as you, I think. So I just don't know why you're ahead of me. Can you explain this?
Well, you asked 2 different questions there. You asked if I could first. Probably no to that one. I don't know that one off the top of my head. I will say, and we talked about this with Aaron, I think. We were trying to figure out why me and you made it over Steen, because we all have the same record.
Yeah, and Steen beat me, but I beat you.
Yeah, it took me a long time this morning to realize we beat each other in a triangle.
Oh, so
which
transitive property ourselves.
Yeah, so
okay.
It ended up with Steen had the least amount of points of the 3 of us. And I pulled.
Oh, okay. So they group us up, us 3. We're all 1-on-1 against each other.
Yeah, I think that's what it was.
Mm.
And then I'm looking at it now. I actually did have more points, so that's probably why I'm 5. Because I think that's the second tiebreaker then.
You had 50 more than me, and I had 50 more than Steen. But
yeah.
I'm just sorry Steen can't repeat.
I know. Although, it's someone else's time to shine. Perhaps Hot Tub Tape Machine. We'll see.
I always want to take a screenshot of something on the league page, and your avatar is that. I feel like I can't post it.
It's dangerous.
I like it though.
All right. Well, Brad, we'll let you go off here, and we're gonna wrap this episode up. So.
Do you want to do Dynasty for 5 minutes?
If anything stuck out to you, I guess we could talk that. We're all in it. So let's flip over there. So. We'll include a timestamp on the episode when we put it up of when the Becky talk ends, and maybe if we talk about this for more than 2 seconds, we could put it in the Dynasty chat too.
Yeah.
I gotta be honest, I don't have anything really prepped for this one. Did anything stick out to you guys?
What are we talking about?
Going over to Dynasty.
Oh, just in general?
Just in general.
Well, a lot can be decided this week.
It's crazy. We have 4, 7, and 6 teams, a 6 and 7 team, and an 8 and 5 team.
Fighting for the last 2 playoff spots.
I know. I don't like.
It's a lot more fun than last year, where we really only had 2 teams that were relevant.
Yeah, because I was even the 4th team to make it, and my team wasn't even nearly good enough to be there.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't even something I worried about. Probably Coleman either.
So
but I do want to give some major props to Kyle, who has turned his team around really well. A lot of it on the back of Lamar and Dak, and he did, he's a Cowboys fan, so he had talked all offseason about Dak being good this year.
I don't know if you remember, I was super pumped to draft Lamar in the Becky because I waited for him and everything. And I'll say in our other league, Reeves League, I was pissed that I didn't get him. And that one, Paulie reached for him really high, so I didn't want to mess with that. And I was really hoping that before the season started, because I had a good feeling about him, which a lot of people did. But I was hoping I would be able to trade Kyle something, and just nothing would have been able to get Lamar right off the bat. So
it's similar to me and Burrow next year.
Right. It's not going to happen.
As long as he's on the team. I do want to shout out Josh, too, because Josh had a really shitty team, and he played pretty well this year. He scored over 2,000 points. It's only like 80 less than my team. Right. And he won a couple games that you probably wouldn't have thought he would have before the season started.
Right. So
don't know about trading all the picks away, though. It's a bit questionable.
He's got a wild amount of moves, but, I mean, if he gets results, whatever. I mean, it seems like we're giving props to every team at this point, but genuinely that we talked about earlier, Luke's team is the lowest performing right now. But if we look at who he was able to keep, because we did the roster reset, it's amazing. Like, if you compared that up to, like, me, you, Coleman, any of the top 4 from last year, the playoff teams, who was it Reeves in the other spot?
Yeah, I think so.
It wasn't even close. I mean...
No, the team was dog shit.
4 wins is good.
Like, it was hard to pick 5 keepers on that team, let alone
Reeves
win a couple games.
Right. Reeves got shafted with some injury luck because before the season, for, like... yearly leagues, I believe he had 3 or 4 of the top 5 players.
He did.
So, I mean, he scored a lot of points.
Shafted by injuries, though. I mean, Pat Mahomes got injured, Tyreek Hill got injured, David Johnson's injured.
He also,
me specifically, everyone had injuries. Yeah.
He's also had the most points scored against him. So just anytime that happens,
that sucks, too.
He is third in scoring.
But it's a dynasty. We have more teams. We have more rosters.
Right.
Roster space. You should, if you're doing it well, then you're fine.
As Jerry just brought up, I don't know if you could hear him or not, but he said he's third in scoring, but 5 and 8, so you just get unlucky.
Yeah, no, I saw that.
Yeah, because even my team fighting to sneak in, I probably don't deserve. I'm not in the same conversation as Steen's really high up there, and even your guys' teams and Kyle's, like you mentioned before, are I would say a step up from where I'm at.
If you get in, you deserve it, though. That's all that matters.
That's fair.
You're a past champion. You have that pedigree. I feel like your players will rally around that.
That's what I'm hoping for. We're really going out, and the halftime speech last week didn't really come through, but we're hoping we can rally, like you said, have a good week of practice.
And maybe this offseason, you talk to Andrew Luck, maybe bring him out of retirement.
That sucked, man. I gotta be honest.
It really, because he was one of your keepers too. I could have. Imagine having another pick. Keeping someone else that you dropped.
Because I got rid of, just off the top of my head, Amari Cooper, Marlon Mack, someone like them for him.
Amari's, but he's in the top 10 wide receivers right now. Right. Imagine keeping him.
Even if it would have been another quarterback, I threw back Russell Wilson.
And that was a great draft pick by Josh, I think.
Yeah, I think so. But I don't know. It's a lot funner this year, like you said, even though some of us are doing worse than we probably would have without the reset. It was fun.
Yeah, reset is definitely a good idea. Last question: who are you guys' top 3 prospects for the Dynasty next year? So we're just doing the rookie draft.
I don't watch a lot of college, to be honest. I mean, I know some of the big names. When you guys were talking earlier about CD, he's been one that I've seen, and Swift and Taylor. So I would say those 3. But
Judy,
a lot of good players.
Judy's a good one. I didn't even think about him off the top of my head. It's going to depend on who goes where.
True.
Honestly, if Luck doesn't come back, he probably won't. I mean, Burrow's probably going to get taken before me, but that wouldn't be a bad thing. That wouldn't be a bad thing.
I don't know if everyone would value the quarterback like that, especially for the Bengals.
It's true. Maybe if he does make it to me, we'll have to start talking trades then in the offseason.
We might have to.
Yeah. All right. We're going to probably wrap up the whole episode here. So, Brad, it was good having you on. Took home the dub. I don't know that I can say I wish you well, but I don't wish you the worst.
I wish you good fortune in the worst to come. All right. Hopefully me and you can be there in the end.
All right. Sounds good. See you, Brad.
Bye, guys.
Goodbye.
All right, Jerry. Long episode, but we might sneak it under an hour. Final takeaways?
This one's good one to listen to for everybody out there, all 4 fans.
I know. It was fun.
I mean, we got a lot of guests. We might have more guests than we get listens. So I mean, that's pretty good.
Yeah. So I know you weren't ready for the trivia. You think it was too hard?
No, maybe like the first, maybe the ones that are from like the 1960s or whatever. I don't know.
Yeah.
But
yeah, like I said
ones
before, I pulled a lot of them just like off the internet real quick. So
yeah, I'm good with more recent stuff. I don't know stuff like
yeah. All right, so we'll see. Oops, I just moved my mouse onto the screen. No big deal. All right, we'll see what happens in the playoffs. Usually in the past, I kind of went silent making these videos once I won. It seemed like I took that trophy and ran with it, but that's been a few years ago now, since Nate's season. I used to give a prediction. I'm just going to see what happens this year. I hope I win. Who knows? I got Lamar. That's apparently going to be the MVP based on, 4 out of the 5 of us. We'll see what happens.
I mean, I'll give you a little prediction.
Okay.
I don't got a dog in the fight. So
that's true.
I'm thinking Zad's gonna finally come through. That's what I think.
I wouldn't hate it. I gotta say, I wouldn't hate it. I would hate that it's not me, but other than that,
I think. I mean, our 1-2 are most recently named last placers. So
that's true. I mean, if you got a player that's scoring almost 30 points a game.
Dude, and the rest of his team's like balling too. I tried to get him to trade me like his 3rd running back, and he wouldn't give it to me. So
right, you keep that when you're that stacked.
Yeah.
All right, we'll wrap up here. If you did listen to the whole thing, let us know if you enjoyed it. I would say it was fun having guests on. So if you listen and want to come on, challenge Jerry, take him down. Might throw my hat into the ring into some trivia in the future. Let us know.
Shout out Brad with the one loss I had, I think.
Yeah, that was it.
The first ever L, I think.
I think so. All right. See you guys. Schwammy out.
Schwammy out.